What do I look like? Jesus Christ.
It's okay. We're both.
It's like just too cold to look good.
It's too cold to look good. Hello and welcome to Our Venuses Are in Cancer, and so no, I'm just kidding. That was stupid. That's dumb. Okay,
Welcome to Venus and Cancer Astrology Podcast.
Yes.
The topic of our day is astrology and self-discovery.
It is deep.
We're getting deep. Wonderful.
My darling,
Yes.
what have you learned about yourself through astrology?
I have learned so many things about myself, but for the purpose of answering this question, I'll try to focus it a little bit. There's a lot of water in my chart.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's the first thing I learned
Mm-hmm.
in terms of and water is the element that correlates with emotions and sensitivities and intuition and all of those things
Mm-hmm.
and inner life. And so I do find that to be true in who I am as a person.
Got it.
It's a lot of feelings over logic.
Mm-hmm.
Heart over brain.
Mm-hmm.
So I identify with that, and I learned that through the chart. I also learned that there's a certain amount of intensity that I bring to the table because my sun and I have a stellium in the 8th house.
Mm-hmm. So let's explain to our listeners
Yes.
what a stellium
So a
means.
stellium is when you have 3 or more planets in one house. And the 8th house is the house that is usually ruled by Scorpio. And Scorpio is already a sign of power and intensity. And the 8th house is all about death and rebirth and
Money, sex, power.
yeah, things that are
all of it.
taboo, all of those things.
Our shadow sides.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so because of that, also my Pluto is conjunct my ascendant,
We
which is
mentioned
my
that.
rising sign.
Mhm.
And Pluto is the planet of power and intensity because it's the ruler of Scorpio, as we've previously discussed.
Yes.
And so having that conjunct my rising sign already is okay, intensity.
It's up the intensity by a lot.
Yes,
Basically.
100%. And because I have all those planets in the 8th house, the stellium that we just talked about,
Mhm.
that also means, like we said, the 8th house is the house of death and rebirth. And it's very much Phoenix rising from the ashes. And it's about resilience and overcoming things and just getting right back up and
Not being a martyr.
yeah.
Because you have a choice. A lot of people who go through a really, really tough time, and I always say this my personal mantra, or MO rather, is, there are people out there who go through a lot of stuff and then they stay in victimization and then they martyr themselves. Not like it's bad to acknowledge being a victim of something like trauma, etc., all of that. And even if you've been through a lot in life, there bears a point where acknowledging it and then moving forward is really a sign of resilience.
Yeah.
And if not, you just kind of stay in the stew. And a lot of water signs also, the water element lacks boundaries. They don't have boundaries with themselves because they're water. Water can flow through cracks and crevices and get through things.
That is boundaries is absolutely something I struggle with.
So water signs tend to get really lost in victimization and escapism. So for them, boundaries are very important, which is why I just brought it up. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And boundaries is something that I'm trying to learn as well as I navigate this journey of life. But back to the resilience, I have learned that that's part of my soul journey in this lifetime, and a little bit of that death and rebirth cycle. I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, but I feel I've lived multiple lives in this one lifetime.
A lot of people don't feel this way.
Really?
I used to say that too, because I used to think, there's no way, this feeling is so intense, this overwhelm, there's no way that there's not other people that cannot feel this way. And surprisingly, there are a lot of people that are, I like to say, chose easy life paths. They're more primitive in their thinking. For example, I just found out recently, my friend has a bunch of fun and interesting facts, and she's like, did you know most people don't have internal dialogue? I was like, what?
Most people?
Most people?
Or like some people?
No,
because I've heard that some
most people
don't.
do not have internal dialogue. Their mind is like quiet. If they think of something, they just see it as like a photo or something like that, and then they do it. They don't sit there and say, okay, today I need to go do this, and then I need to go do that, and then this. I will say a lot of the people that we know probably do those things and have internal dialogue because we as old souls probably gravitate towards other old souls that are complex thinkers because they've been through a lot in this lifetime. But most of the world, no. It's like, get up, have a meal, siesta, chill, like work my little job, eat, have sex, good night. Like no deep thoughts, no existentialism.
Wow.
No. So most people don't. And the ones who gravitate towards our podcast probably do.
There was something that you said that reminded me that I was like, about the old souls. So another thing that I learned about my chart is my sun sign is in the 29th degree of Cancer.
Meaning it's like borderline something else, or meaning it's extremely strong in that degree.
So neither.
Okay. Here I am making up astrology now.
Neither. So that's the thing with astrology. It's like you can't. When I learned it, the person that I was learning it from was like, you can't make up stories.
I know.
Like,
that's why I wanted to play a little for a second. It's what I play.
Yeah. So basically, being the 29th degree of any sign kind of means that your soul is like completing the cycle. Mm-hmm. And so it tends to be that people that have their sun in a later degree, it's like they actually have lived multiple lives and their soul is like close to completion in a way. So each house is 30 degrees. And so I guess it would be like a soul evolution kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. That makes me realize mine is in the 26th degree, my sun. So
yeah.
I'm pretty intensely there. And the only reason I was assuming that it means like you're very much strongly embodied in that sign, the more like you get to the nth degree of it, is only because I remember reading that there are like 3 decans of every sign, like 3 types, but that's like phases, like you're phase 1 Leo, phase 2 Leo, phase 3, depending on where your birthday is, but it doesn't, I don't know if it relates to the degree, so that's why we have to
it does relate to the degree.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yes, it does. So there is an element of that.
Okay.
But what I was getting at was the soul completion journey. Yes.
Well, apparently there was this woman on TikTok that said, if you crave to not have children this lifetime, it is because your soul no longer wants to reincarnate. Because there's almost
that's true.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. I mean, I kind of want to like sit with that and marinate and see if that resonates with me or not. I mean, I can understand you have like no more reason to kind of like come back and check in or play guardian angel.
Well, and if you have not only that, but like when you have kids, it kind of like repeats. And I think a lot of people that are like cycle breakers in their family lineage and like people that are meant to kind of like like break trauma patterns and things like that.
Yeah.
I think those are a lot of the people. I think those are a lot of the same people because once you have kids, it's like if you believe in reincarnation, you all kind of stay within the same soul family and soul group. Exactly. And so by not having children, it's like, okay, you break the cycle of like through your behavior, but also through not having children.
Totally.
Whoa, my mind is kind of blown right now.
I know, that felt good.
That felt good.
Little mind
Something
massage.
that felt right.
Yeah.
To answer the question, the 29th degree is considered the anaretic degree. The anaretic degree occurs when a planet is at 29 degrees in a sign, which is the last placement of the sign before a planet moves into the next sign. This is a degree of karmic completion, and people with this degree usually appear to be old souls. This marks the end of a cycle and is often considered the degree of faith. In this area and sign in this lifetime, you've done everything you can, and now your soul just has to wait for the next season to arrive.
You become like a master, basically.
However, while this can feel like a degree of giving up, it's actually the degree of mastery.
There we go.
If the anaretic is in your birth chart, this means you'll have all the tools you need to overcome all challenges of your sign, and there will be a lot Wonderful. You are gifted with understanding and self-reflection and can use those to reach your highest purpose.
Wonderful.
This can be tough to handle knowing you have a higher purpose, but you can grow into your role as you get ready to start your next chapter.
I think it's more tough to handle to not know your purpose than to know you have a higher purpose.
Maybe that's because you're also closer to the 29th degree.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know that they're suffering.
But
they're suffering.
But there's an ignorance is bliss.
Fine, that's
like,
fair.
what about that saying?
Fine,
you know?
that's fair.
But I hear you. I rather know. All my Scorpio placements rather know than not know.
Let me tell you this, me being, so ask me the question now. What have I learned about myself through astrology?
Yes.
I was and I'm evolving, and I think have evolved through a huge portion of like the I don't want to say dark. What did you use? Use a better word. It wasn't dark. It was like the
low
vibration of Leo. So basically what I know about myself, or what I've learned about myself through astrology, is that I'm a fire sign. And I am basically like the royal fire sign, the Leo, the one that actually is in the middle of the solar system, ruled by the sun. And in a lot of ways, it's symbolic to me wanting to be the center of a lot of the people who I love. Like, I want to be in the center of a lot of the people whom I love. What the hell? I can't say it right. Can you please help me? I want to be in the center of a lot of the people's lives who I love. There.
Okay.
Thank you. I learned for a long time, like, I was very self-focused. Like, everything was about me, and I couldn't understand that, like, I thought if I had a big feeling about something, someone else would have that same feeling and mirror that, and if they didn't, I would get upset, and I was like, how do you not understand? Like, this is me. And they're like, did you ever stop to think, like, there's someone outside of you experiencing emotions? Like, you have such a you take up so much space that it's like, I feel like I'm not allowed to feel, is something that I have been told and that I've learned about myself through astrology. Now, that was like 8 years ago. I have worked through a lot of that, and if anything, I have become quite the opposite now. I don't try hard to get attention. It just comes to me. There's a lot of like the lower frequency of Leo that tries to get attention, thrives off of like pushing for it. I don't. I just happen to have a genuine, authentic confidence, which I think is very much Leo-like, whether they're low frequency or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that's what I've learned about myself is that, and I'm very, very playful, and Leos are very playful. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is, how has it been a tool for you in the process of getting to know yourself?
Well, I mean, I'm like, this is like a double entendre, if you will. I'm like very cyclical in a way. Like, I go down rabbit holes of like Googling all of my placements and literally like venturing to the darkest parts of me. And I'll give you an example, and I want to read this.
Cool.
Because, thank you, I've actually never felt understood, and no article ever put it better than this one article, and I forgot the article, but I copied and pasted the part of the article.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it because I am a Leo, but the way that I love and want to be loved is so unlike a Leo, and it's so Scorpio-esque that you're probably going to get goosebumps hearing this, you and the listeners.
Well, I think one of the tools for me is like we said, for example, there's positive, like most things in life, there's positive and negatives to everything. And like we talked about, water signs struggle with boundaries. So that is one of the things that I'm like, that's one of the examples of how I've used astrology as a tool. It's like, okay, I know water signs struggle with boundaries. That is something that I identify with and can relate to. How can I be better about that? Like it helps me identify the things that I need to work on. Another thing that I do often is like if I'm going through life and I'm feeling a type of way, I'm like, I wonder what's happening in the transits right now. And so I'll look up my chart and I'll put like with transits so I can see where the planets are right now, how they're affecting me.
That makes sense.
And oftentimes I can like identify what the heck is going on and be like, oh, maybe I'm feeling this way because my Mars is
Conjunct
being affected
my,
by where Saturn is right now. Something like that.
It's good validation.
Yeah.
It's a very unique love language, like a very unique language to be validated through. And unless like you or your friends speak astrology, like no one gets it. I love to spend a lot of nights, like, again, like I said, it's almost like doom birth chart scrolling, where I like look at, even to the point where I'm looking at like my asteroids and like the furthest ones out, and I'm like, oh, I want to find meaning for this and for that, and it can go for hours.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to get to know yourself, because, I mean, we're here to evolve. Okay, you want to hear it?
Yes.
All right. So the article says about this placement in me, and this is literally how I love and how I want to be loved. There is an innate understanding within you that love isn't just about the light, it's also about the shadows, finding beauty in the complexity, and holding your own in the dance between surrender and control. You have desires that reach beyond the everyday, and those around you can feel the quiet intensity of this need. Your connections are deep, meaningful, transformative. You are not content to linger in the shallows. You plunge into the depths, where love becomes more than just a feeling. It's a force, a power dynamic, a merging of the souls that transforms you both. It's as if your very presence says, tell me your secrets. Show me the parts you keep hidden even from yourself. Like, I want to know someone who doesn't even know that they don't know parts of themselves. Like, that's lit. Now let your Scorpio get tickled. Wait.
Whoa.
Okay. And then I find a certain beauty in the depths, a fascination in the complexity. I love to know someone so thoroughly, to reach into the parts of them they believe no one would ever see and pull them up to the light. This is no mere curiosity. It's just my way of loving fiercely, authentically, without apology. And the last part, I crave the depth, because you know it is only in the depths, in the places most people are afraid to go, where we truly find each other. Like, I want the brokenness. I want the pain. I want the struggle. It's sexy to me. But not like martyry.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know where I see the Leo, though? It's like, I see the Leo coming through because I get the sense that you want to be this person's, like,
Oh God,
be all, end all. Like, you want all of them and, like,
yes!
all of their focus and attention and, like, every single part of it. Like, you don't want them to have
Oh my God.
anything, like,
Outside
like,
of me? No, don't make me
not,
sound like I'm so psycho.
not outside of you. I just think that it's like you want to be this person's world. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Like,
I am an only child, you know.
I feel like that's where I see the Leo in this.
That's fair. That is, and there's two parts of me. There's a part that, yes, I want to be someone's whole world, and also I want them to have a life outside of me, because then I won't be attracted to them if they don't.
Yeah, totally.
No, but for me, romance is like all enveloping. Like,
and you know, I feel like this is so interesting, because even though the words are Scorpio, the lovely reading that you gave us, like literally the dramatic reading, like the drama of the Leo, like that was so funny. And I think this is so interesting to see how what can make the difference between one sign and another is the intention behind, like, the same words.
That's a really good point, actually. And you know, it makes sense why on my Hinge profile long ago I had dating me as like starring in a Shakespearean comedy. Seriously.
Comedy? You love it, comedy?
Yeah, no, yeah,
that is so
comedy.
funny.
Like, there's tragedy, there's intensity, there's playfulness. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. That's hilarious.
No, but that was a good point you made.
I like the words are very Scorpio.
That's what and that's how I feel.
Yeah.
But like, yes, the delivery is very Leo. That is such a good observation.
Like the larger than life of it all.
Yes.
You know?
Because the Scorpio would have read it like, I want to peer into your soul and da-da-da-da. I don't want too many people hearing this.
Right. Like a Scorpio would
Cut
never
that
even
part
share
out.
that.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, they would
cut that
never
part
even
out.
say
that.
that.
Totally, they
to
wouldn't.
anyone.
No. They wouldn't. They wouldn't even admit it to themselves.
No. I mean, they might know it in themselves, and if they're like, you know, self-aware and all these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would never share that.
No, but sometimes they have so much like ego with themselves to where if they even admitted that to themselves, they'd be like, oh no, that's like giving another person too much. Even though I won't even say it out loud to them.
Power.
Like,
yeah.
They're all about the power.
It's true. Okay, so this is an area in terms of like self-discovery in the chart. I think these are important aspects to talk about.
Sure.
Let me see if my laptop charger
We have
reaches
the
all
North
the way.
Node, which represents the nodal positioning of the moon when you were born, and that indicates your soul purpose.
In the chart, there are like very specific placements that you can look to learn about yourself. I think one of the things that we both talked about is like, okay, what element is most present in your chart? Like, do you have a balanced chart? Do you have more signs in water? Do you have more signs in air, earth? Like, what is the case? I think that is a good indicator of like where you can look to see your overall makeup. Like, are you mostly balanced? Do you need to
And your personality
compensate a little bit more?
predispositions, like, are you?
Yeah.
Do you have temper problems? Like certain Mars aspects, like Mars square
Or
Mars.
like if you have a lot of
indicate-
fire.
Yes, then they could indicate a temper problem. Like I have literally have read so many charts where I'm like, I asked the person, I'm like, do you have a temper? And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? I'm like, it's in 3 places of your chart. I'm like, damn, you have to really work hard to like temper it. No pun intended. But anyway, so that, yes. And
Another thing is like looking at your chart ruler. Do you know how you find that?
Chart ruler,
So you can find your chart ruler by whichever sign is in your first house. So whatever your rising sign is.
Okay, Virgo's mine, for example.
So your chart ruler is Mercury.
Oh, communication. No wonder I'm a chatty Kathy. And yours is Jupiter then.
And mine is Jupiter.
Okay, because it's Sag.
So whatever your rising sign is, whichever is the ruling planet of that is your chart ruler.
Got it. I didn't know that. I didn't know. You just taught me something new.
There you
I like
go.
that.
Yeah, so if you don't know what it is, you can, but you know your rising sign, you can literally Google like what is the chart ruler or the planetary ruler of
Rising in Libra, for example, which would be.
Or you could just say Libra.
Okay, yeah, there you
like what
go.
is
You
the
wouldn't have to-
planetary ruler of Libra? What is the planetary ruler of Capricorn?
Fair.
So there you go. Type that into Google and see what comes up.
Wonderful.
Another thing that points to a little bit of like self-discovery is your north and south nodes. So the north node,
I wouldn't say a little bit.
a lot of it.
I think it's a lot of it. I think it's a lot
of it. So the north node, I've heard it be compared to like what your soul's purpose is.
In this lifetime, and
In
it gets
this lifetime.
activated after your Saturn return. So 30 years plus moving forward, the North Node, whatever house it's in, and whatever sign it's in, gets specifically activated. And your South Node is the complete opposite of your North Node. So say you have like North Node Pisces, which I have. Your the opposite of that sign is Virgo. In the South Node, first 30 years, you are unlearning the South Node behaviors of that South Node sign, Virgo-like behaviors, because that was you in a past life. You were very Virgo-like in a past life. South Node.
Interesting. So I think I've also heard that mine are the opposite, by the way. My north node is Virgo and my south node is Pisces.
Interesting.
And so what I've heard, it's not so much that you're trying to forget what phrase
you have
did
to
use?
release. You have to
So
release and step into North Node.
Yes, you do have to step into North Node, and I'm sure there is like a release process. But the reasoning for that is because you've already learned the lessons of that sign in a past life. But you're bringing those lessons and strengths and like learnings and gifts into this life.
Yes, and there's you're right, and there's an air of familiarity. Like if someone were
it's
to
comfortable.
It's comfortable. So if someone were to completely dismiss their South Node, like I'm South Node Virgo, I'm a perfectionist, I'm neurotic, it's annoying, like type A. And my North Node in Pisces keeps saying, release perfectionism, release the need to be super orderly and have a method for everything. Step into Pisces, which is intuitive, which is just feel your way through things. And I'm like, no, I just want fucking boundaries. But okay.
Because it's unfamiliar.
I don't like it. It's really uncomfortable for me. But, so, it's important to say, okay, the South Node, like, that's where I'm good. That's where I got this.
Yeah.
North Node is discomfort, but it's where I need to grow.
Yes.
And if I don't embrace the North Node qualities, I will, if I am awakened and evolved enough, or if I'm ignorant, then who cares? But I probably wouldn't even be looking into astrology. Then I'm just going to stay stagnant. My soul won't grow.
Yeah.
Also, even in compatibility charts, if you have somebody that touches on your South Node, okay, it means it most likely, if any of their personal planets, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, even Mars to a degree, touch your South Node, it means there was a past life connection that was mostly karmic and has some unfinished business residue vibe to it, okay?
This explains so much. It does.
No, and if you only have that, so some astrologists will say, well, you need a little bit of that. And I'm like, if you don't have anything equal to the same amount of South Node placements to North Node or greater North Node, you will eventually outgrow the relationship.
Wait. Say that again.
You basically, let's say, two of that person's personal planets touch your South Node.
Yeah.
It feels comfortable. It's like, oh my God, we've known each other before.
Yeah.
Fine.
Uh-huh.
If only like one of their planets touch your North Node and it's like a distant planet, like it's not like it's a generational, you're gonna outgrow them.
Got it.
You're gonna at least need two, like a balance at least, because the South Node is strong. Karma is strong. You're gonna need at least two, maybe even three, to offset the two of North Node touching points to even have a relationship that feels soulfully progressive.
This is so crazy because we're talking about how astrology has helped us in self-discovery, and I'm literally actively discovering things about myself during this podcast.
Perfect! Well, there we go.
2 seconds ago, you were like, wow, I just learned something new too.
See?
And here we are.
Tonight's the night. It's
That's
the mutual awakening.
Yeah,
so that's the deal. But can I tell you also, if a person isn't mature enough, if someone touches on their North Node and doesn't have a South Node element, the receiving partner, like the one whose North Node is activated, we call it being activated, will feel uncomfortable. Like, oh, this person is pushing me. Like, they keep, like, they're like a parent, or they're annoying me. Like, they're pushing me to grow.
To
and
be
I'm not
better.
ready to, like, stop. I don't want this. Like, I just want to be comfortable.
Whoa.
That's why you usually don't activate your North Node until you're 30 and over. That's why I tell most people don't get married before 30.
Yeah, well, that is a common thing, especially because of Saturn return.
And
like,
the North and the
nodes. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so now you know. Look at your North and South nodes. For me, it's the opposite. My South node is Pisces, and my North node is Virgo, and so maybe that's why we're good for each other, because you're helping me, like, you push me in my Virgo-ness.
You need to have some fucking boundaries.
And I'm pushing you in the Pisces-ness, where you're like, I want it all to be
perfect.
And
I keep texting you.
Creativity
Yes.
needs to flow.
I keep texting her. I'm like, babe, we need to do this, that. And she's like, okay, well,
I'm like,
sure
100%.
I'm sure we'll figure it out, and it's okay. It doesn't need to all be done like that. It'll be fine.
It doesn't need to be perfect.
And I'm like,
that's
what?
so funny. And we're both benefiting from that.
I know, and I'm like, all right. I guess I'll just, like, I don't want to use the word perfect, but I'm like, perfect as we go. But I'm gonna stop it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
I know.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
I love that.
Like
but
that.
yeah, I do. I mean, it's not that I struggle with. It just comes very people have looked at my chart and been like, oh, South Node in Pisces, like, you were a witch. Pisces connect, like, in a past life. Like, those are the gifts that you bring into this life. Pisces are known to be, like, mediums and, like, connecting to the afterlife and the other side, because they're the last sign of the zodiac.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're kind of like one foot on Earth, another foot in the realms.
I gotta say, I feel like I've become more delusional since I've no offense, since I stepped into my Pisces North Node in the 7th house.
Pisces is a sign of delusion.
I don't like it. I miss my structured orderliness.
But remember when we were talking about Sagittarius and we were like, the delusion is what makes them lucky and allows them to accomplish all their dreams.
That's
because
true.
You have to have a sense of delusion in order to, like, put yourself out
That is
there
true.
and accomplish the things that you want to do.
I'll just chalk it all up to
so
saying
you
I'm
need
being
like
grateful.
it's the combination of like the self-discipline of the Virgo and the delusion of Pisces.
You just have to have a nice little balance.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
totally. And we also have to talk about the importance of understanding like every sign in the nodes like plays out a certain way.
Yeah.
Like if you have like a north node in Aquarius, you're meant to be like very philanthropic this lifetime and
a little bit of like a pot stirrer, unconventional, rebellious,
with a cause, not without a cause, because that's Aries. You know what I mean? People who also, for example, and by virtue of that, they have North Node Aquarius have South Node Leo, so they need to let go of like selfish behavior and being all about self-focused and really like everything that they can accumulate for themselves as opposed to like giving out to the world and helping humanity. So it's so interesting how like when you have certain signs in the nodes, how they play out.
Yeah.
So,
And it is, I know you mentioned this, but I want to reiterate, it's like the opposite signs.
Yes, it's always the opposite.
So the opposite, like you said, the opposite of Leo is Aquarius, the opposite of Cancer is Capricorn.
Aries, Libra.
Aries,
so like
Libra.
Yeah, I know somebody who is North Node Aries, South Node Libra, and is extremely emotionally clingy, and because of the South Node in Libra, and like emotionally they feel like they're dependent.
They need a partner.
To
go through life.
And their North Node is Aries, which is very independent, bold thinking, like no one tell me what to do, and it's so hard because every situation, the closer they get to 30, keeps almost like setting them up to push them into a leadership position, and they're like running away from it. They're like, no, please, I don't want to do that. But I mean, you can't stay stuck in South Node tendencies, and it won't be good for the evolution of your soul. So please don't do it.
Yeah, that brings us to the next topic, which is the houses in the chart.
Okay.
And so when you look at the birth chart, it's set up in like a circle divided into 12 houses. And each of those houses represents an area of life, an aspect of life, a theme, exactly. And so whatever sign you have in that house or whatever planets you have in that house is how it'll affect that area of life.
Now, question.
Yes.
What if, because I've heard of this, I have an empty house. What if you don't have a planet touching one of the houses?
That is a great point to bring up. If you have an empty house, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that area of life is any more or less or unlucky. No. And that's when we go back to don't make up stories.
There's a lot of people.
Nothing to do with
There's a lot of people online.
You're so right, and I'm glad that you said that.
Oh my God, you have an empty 7th house, which represents one-on-one partnerships, business, romantic, all this. That means you won't have luck and love because you have no energy flowing to that house.
Absolutely not.
It might just mean that theme is not going to be a huge like area of obstacle or area where you're going to have to put too much energy in it because it just is easier. It flows.
Yeah.
It's all about perception. So.
Yeah. Very good point to bring up.
I know.
Great.
Thank you.
Brilliant. You're amazing.
Can you pet me?
Yeah.
Thanks. I like it. Thank you.
Okay, so back to the areas of life. For the first house, for example, it's a lot about like personal identity, like self-identity and like looking into the self, and it's the house of self.
It's the house of self, and it's the house of appearance too.
And appearance.
It's how you come off. It's the public mask and persona you wear.
Yep. Personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. The second house, for example, rules finances as well as like personal values. The third one is communication, and we talked about this a little bit. Communication and also things that are local to you, like your immediate proximity. Yes. The fourth house is family. The fifth house is children. Okay, let me go back to the fourth house.
The
fourth house is
the home.
Home. Yeah. Did I say family?
You said family.
I misspoke. I was getting ahead of myself.
You gotta
the fourth house is home, but also ancestry and like lineage.
Yes.
The 5th house is
family,
fun,
children,
and children.
Joy,
and arts,
happiness.
Joy, happiness, creativity, arts.
This
jam-packed house.
Yeah, it's ruled by Leo.
Yeah.
And the 6th house is physical health, is it not? And it's also day-to-day routines and tasks.
Self-discipline, physical health, day-to-day routines. Yep. And we've mentioned this before, but also mind, body, soul connection.
Yes.
Take it away, 7th house.
All right, 7th. Wow, that was like a very cool stage voice you just had.
I know. I don't know. I think I'm losing my voice between the cold and the lack of sleep. It was like
love that. Okay. Okay. I'm like, fuck, this is what it's like to hang out with a Leo.
It's true.
Okay. So, 7th house is, a lot of people say, oh, it's the house of marriage. Well, yes, because it is the house of intimate partnerships. And sometimes intimate partnerships are romantic, familial, and work, if you're really, really passionate about your work. And it does tend to be like the marriage house. Although some people would say 9th house, I'm jumping. We'll get there. 9th house is also can represent like tradition, higher learning, but also marriage in some ways, from what I've heard.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then going back to the 8th house, death, rebirth, sex,
transformation. I forgot to mention that one.
Extreme transformation, power,
taboo,
money, inheritance. Yep. And then we have 9th house, tradition, philosophy, values. And I don't know, again, I forgot where I read this, but it was obviously when I say where I read this.
Wait, you said 9th house values?
Traditional values.
Traditional values?
Traditions. Yeah.
And 9th house is traditions because it ties into like religion and spirituality.
Thank you. Yeah. And when I say I forgot where I read this, it's not like I'm just like reading random sources. Like these are credible like astro sources that I'm reading. I just can't like think of the specific name right now, but I remember there being said that if someone gets married once, usually it's whenever their 7th house is activated. Like that's very revealing of like what their partner will be like. But then if they have a second marriage, it's the 9th house.
Yes,
actually. So that's why I'm like, okay, so it's like 9th house too can represent marriage in a lot of ways. And then we have 10th house, career, public image, social self, which in some ways, not the career part, but the public image and the mask persona can be 1st house. And then 11th house is also friendships. What else? It's friendships, right?
Friendships, but remember it's ruled by Aquarius, so it's also like unconventionalism, technology. Like that's why the age of Aquarius is such a big thing, because it's like revolution, but also philanthropy. All the qualities that are associated with Aquarius.
Got it.
Fall into that house.
And the 12th house is the subconscious mind.
Dreams, fantasies, delusions, anything. Intuition, things that are hidden.
Hidden meaning, symbolism.
Hidden from you. Oftentimes, like people that have planets in this house, they'll say like, whatever's in that house is unknown to the person whose chart you're reading. Like it's their subconscious.
Or I read it this way and I don't want to freak people out. Again, this is all perception.
Oh, also escapism.
Yes. I've also heard that if someone's personal planet, like their Mars falls into your 12th house, or Venus falls into your 12th house, like Mars being like action and like Venus being romance, like there's a possibility of an emotional affair, or them kind of like hiding something romantic from you because they have you guys have that like placement together. Or if someone has a Venus in their own 12th house, they can also be emotional affair types that would have like secret romantic affairs.
So okay, let's separate the two, because one of them is the synastry chart.
Yeah, one of them is synastry and one of them is composite. I mean, no, not composite. Composite is the self. Yeah.
No, I think composite is a different version of like a relationship. It's like a different.
You're right.
Okay. But let's keep it to the self.
Fine.
For this one, because we have another
relationship
on dating.
Okay, fine. So the self, meaning if you have like Venus or Sun or Mars, any personal planet, Moon in your own 12th house, you have the capacity to have secrets in that area. So Sun in the 12th house can be, they're very intuitive, but also can be very secretive and have parts of their lives that they hide. Venus in 12th house, they are capable, again, I'm not saying this is all perception and all of this, but the theory says the capacity for emotional affair in the love life is possible.
And I think that ties into the escapism that is associated with the 12th house.
Very well.
Because it's also another thing that I've heard is addiction is kind of tied to this house because it is a form of escapism.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have personal planets in this 12th house, I've heard that there is potential or like a higher likelihood of addiction because of seeking that escapism.
100%.
But they're also like the dreamers of the zodiac sign. They're incredibly creative. Yeah, I don't want to be. There's pros, like everything in life, and like we've always said, there's pros and cons to everything.
Listen, people that can want to escape from themselves, ultimately their lesson is to understand why they're in pain and why they want to escape and learn more about themselves. So whether they're having an affair on a person or they're, it's ultimately they're escaping themselves. So it's all about the relationship to self and coming back to you and trying to understand yourself better. There's no shame in it. And a lot of the times people grow from having those experiences. They grow from having those affairs, and they do it once and they're like, I don't like being secretive because it made me feel like a falsehood of holding power over someone else. And really I was just afraid of being vulnerable because and escapists tend to be afraid of being vulnerable. So it's all here for us to grow and learn. There's no judgment or shame here.
That was so beautifully said.
I felt like it was necessary.
It was necessary.
Thank
100%.
you. Thanks.
Another phrase that I think applies to astrology, especially through the lens of self-discovery, is hindsight is 20/20.
Tell me more. I want to know why you picked that.
Well, I want to ask you, have you ever been like, okay, I know this, and this happened in my life. Let me see what in my chart kind of points to that indicates to that.
All of it. Uranus and Saturn in the 4th house of the home. Uranus, you will have a very, very strict, cold mother. I love my mom. She's a beautiful human, but was not very warm growing up. And you will have a very difficult relationship with her, and it will be full of power struggles. Absolutely. She will be Uranian in nature, most likely Aquarius. She is an Aquarius. Yeah. It was to the T.
Yeah.
To the T. And we'll have challenging relationship with father, water sign, with what's it called? A need for power, and my dad's a Scorpio, couldn't get more water sign with a need for power. And that was Pluto being aspected somewhere specific in my chart. I mean, it is uncanny, how much has been confirmed. And will Gemini in the 10th house, and my Jupiter is in the 10th house of career, and we'll do something with communication and all of this. And so I was, on TV, I was on a reality show, and it just made a lot of sense. It in my chart, it said a lot about me being in the public eye pretty frequently. So
that's exactly what I meant and what I was getting at with that phrase. I think even something more, I have a specific example that I can share, but I will say a lot of it for me is noticing, right? Not creating stories. It's kind of just noticing, and then building up my I don't want to say wisdom, but like building up my understanding, I guess.
Your
So that when I,
with self.
yeah, so that then if I look at another person's chart and they have that same placement, I can ask and I could be like, hey, I think this manifested for me in this way.
Oh.
Do you resonate with that? Because I see
Okay.
that you have the same placement.
For sure.
So it's also like learning about myself to then learn more about others.
Of course. Oh, that's beautiful.
So one of the specific example, and this kind of blew my mind when I learned it. Like, I didn't make this up.
Mm-hmm.
In one of my astrology courses, I think I have mentioned before that during the pandemic, I was like, what the heck do I do with my life?
Yeah.
But I took 3 astrology courses. In one of the courses, they said something like, not always, but a pattern that has been noticed with people that have their sun planet in the 8th house.
Oh, sorry, that's painful.
Yes, a pattern that has been noticed, not always, and this is where I want to make sure to re-emphasize, like, don't make up stories. This, like, if you have this placement, this doesn't mean it's going to happen
to you.
It does not mean that. It's just a common pattern that has been identified in this case with sun in the 8th house, is that there will be a sort of death of a father.
Oh,
whether literal or not.
That's crazy.
Like, it doesn't mean literal. In my case, it was literal. My dad passed away 2021 after COVID. And so when I learned this, I was like, holy
oh my God.
cow. My mind was like blown. And I think I learned that after it had happened. It wasn't before. It was after.
Was it something to do with Pluto? Was Pluto in
No.
the placements?
No, it's more because you know how the moon is considered the mother
Yes.
of the zodiac.
And the sun is the father.
The sun is the father.
Uh-huh.
And so having the sun in the 8th house, which is like
The
house
at
of
some point.
death.
Got it.
So it doesn't mean a literal death. So please, nobody look at their chart and freak out that their sun is in their 8th house and think that their dad is going to die. That's not what we're saying.
No, definitely not.
That's not what we're saying. But in terms of recognizing that as a pattern, it's like whether literal or not, maybe someone that has a sun in the 8th house is estranged from their father, or like doesn't have the typical father figure in their life, or a strong relationship or something like that.
Exactly.
So yes, that's an example of that. Another one I'll say is the 28th degree, like having your sun in the 28th degree is the degree of like fame. So another pattern that has been recognized within astrology is if you have your sun in the 28th degree.
Not the 29th? Not like
not the 29th.
Exactly the 28th?
The 28th degree.
Okay.
A pattern that has been recognized amongst those people is that they're famous.
Interesting. I wonder what it has to do with exactly the 28th. Okay. Wow. Very cool.
So yeah, just the patterns and like noticing. It's about noticing.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have my Venus, Cancer, opposition my Neptune, which is in Capricorn. Neptune, planet of illusions, and Venus, planet of love. I went to an astrologist who had a Scorpio stellium, like six Scorpio placements. Well, I mean, like really potent in his energy and like very, very kind and sweet and no bullshit. And this is really a lot to share, and it's personal, but like I have been in romantic relationships since I was 13 years old. Like I always said, I'm going to find my wife. Like I know I'm going to meet her, and I went on Match.com when I was 13.
Explain the placement again one more time.
Venus opposition Neptune.
Got it.
So illusions.
Yep. Rose-colored glasses.
Rose-colored glasses. Overlooking my love life.
Yeah. Not seeing things clearly.
Not seeing things clearly. And I've been in romantic relationships since I was 13. I was like, I'm going to find my wife. I signed on Match.com. I lied and I said I was 18 when I wasn't, because they require you to be 18 to build a profile.
Deception. There's the Neptune.
Yes. My ex-girlfriend actually did the same thing. She was 13 and lied and said she was 18. We were like meant to meet. Anyway, I've been in a lot of relationships. And for some time, up until like my mid-20s, it stopped happening after that. Because I realized I read it in my chart and then I'm like, oh my God, I have to break this pattern. Up until my mid-20s, I would constantly be met with deception in relationships. Like they would lie about their profession. No, like really. They would, I had someone who had an affair and their whole family was in on it. Like they had a whole separate relationship and the family knew about me and the other person.
What sign is your Venus in? Obviously Cancer. And then your Neptune?
Capricorn.
Oh, yeah. Opposite. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, all these things, I mean, I still hadn't had my Saturn return. I still hadn't evolved. I still wasn't a therapist. I still didn't do all my emotional work, right? But the chart really played itself out because North Node in Pisces in the 7th house, before I'm actually 30 years old and I start embodying like the positive elements of it, North Node or Pisces in the 7th house and Venus opposition Neptune is a double whammy. It's illusions all around because Pisces is delusional. And that sounds really rude. I feel like anyone who's listening is going to be like, don't call me delusional. This is so rude if they're a Pisces. They have the tendency to self-delude and to lie to themselves because the truth is too painful, then they escape. Anyway, I was attracting so many Pisces literally in relationships, and I was constantly meeting people that were some form of escapist, whether they had an addiction or they were in another relationship and lying to me and I had no idea. I mean, it was deception after deception after deception. So there are some really, really crazy elements in the birth chart that just confirm hindsight 2020. And I was like, this is weird. I need to understand, why does this keep happening to me? That astrologer actually, he's like, oh honey, I'm so sorry. He's like, but don't worry, now that you know your picker is broken, that's how he said it. He's like, you can fix it and stop picking people who need fixing because you're into the martyrs and, you know, choose better.
That is the it is time
much better
for a game.
Oh, I love games.
This is a new segment, a new game we're introducing called Which Sign is Most Likely To?
Oh, I love this. Okay.
And we have a set of cards. And so when it comes to learning about the self, I thought this would be a great way to identify different characteristics and behaviors that belong to each sign, so that if you're listening out there, you could be like, oh, I'm that sign, and yes, I agree. I am the most likely to do that, or no, I completely disagree. And if that's the case, then let us know.
Let's help people feel seen.
Yes.
Okay.
In positive ways, maybe.
Yes.
Let's see. How many should we do?
3
each?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Okay.
We can both answer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you answer first and then
Okay.
see if we agree. Okay.
Well, who is most likely to? Most likely to get away with murder. Scorpio.
I would say Scorpio too. Wait, should we answer at the same time and see what we both say?
Yeah.
Okay. But if we have to... No, I was just itchy. Okay, let's do a countdown whenever we feel like we have the answer, because what if we have to think a little bit?
Oh, you're right. Okay.
But yes, I agree. Scorpio. Okay. That's the same one.
No,
I would say Scorpio.
I would say Scorpio for that
too.
Okay.
Let's shuffle it. Okay. Which sign is most likely to win trivia night at a bar? You got it?
Ready? I got it.
3, 2, 1. Gemini!
I love this. I want to say more than 3.
Okay, let's do more. Your turn.
Oh. Okay.
Wait. Because there's like the practical side
I
of
know,
it,
I
and
know,
then there's
I know.
like the...
There's like I want the cloud.
the cloud and the delusion. Okay, let's answer with practical.
Okay, which sign is most likely to run for president?
3, 2, 1. Capricorn.
I love this.
This is amazing.
Well, weren't we gonna answer the other version? Like, there's the Capricorn.
Oh,
and then
okay. The other version?
I was gonna say Leo.
I would say maybe like Aries.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
But
too.
I also could see Leo. I think a Leo wants to be more like famous. You know, like
That's true.
It's more about like star power rather than like.
But Obama and Bill Clinton were both. Well, those are just two presidents. But yeah, I get it. Okay, let's keep going.
Funny. Okay, which sign is most likely to not leave the house for a week?
Okay,
there's two. I think
there's two.
But okay, let's
Wait,
say both of them.
but how do we say both of them? Like, I want to pick the same one first. You know what I mean?
Let's just say both of them
At the
in
same
whichever
time?
order. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Okay. 3,
2,
1.
1.
Pisces
Taurus
and Cancer.
Interesting. Okay, so we both got Cancer. I would say Taurus.
I would say Pisces, because Tauruses, I'm sorry, yeah, they're lazy and they want to stay home, but they like the finer things. They want to go out to a luxury dinner. They're not just going to do everything at home. They'll get sick of being home for a week. They'll spend a weekend at home, but a whole week? Fuck no. They need to go out a little bit, get glam, get some attention. Pisces, oh my God, they're going to lose themselves in the house for weeks and it'll feel like a weekend.
Yeah, they'll just watch movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with all three of them. Like,
Okay,
I still think Taurus...
A week, though?
I don't know the amount of time, but a Taurus is known for staying in bed
Yeah, but this said
and
a
being
week.
lazy.
This said a week.
I know, but when Tauruses get comfortable, like in a relationship, I feel like you never see them. If a Taurus is in a relationship,
That's
you never
true.
see
They
them.
do. Yeah, but
They hide away.
That is true.
in
They
the
do hide away.
home
That's true.
forever.
That's
okay,
true.
was that me or it's you?
Okay. Most likely to want to go home early.
I got it.
I got it too.
3, 2, 1.
Taurus.
Cancer.
What? Every Taurus I know has always wanted to go
Taurus
home early.
too.
Because I just want to be comfortable in bed.
Yeah. As a Cancer, I will say I feel that way.
Okay,
also.
fine.
Yeah. My turn. Which sign is most likely to laugh at their own jokes?
I don't.
3, 2, 1.
Aries and Leo.
Gemini and Leo.
Okay, I could see the Gemini.
I can see the Aries too.
Yeah.
Aries has because they're the first sign of the zodiac, they have like a childlike
That's what I was gonna say.
quality and a little bit of like a impulsivity.
Yes,
Silly,
They're not even waiting for anyone else to laugh. Like
No,
they can
no.
like literally
Yeah.
entertain themselves
Yes.
and they'll make themselves laugh.
100%.
And then Leo's kind of the same. They're so like I've been doing it. I've been laughing at my own stuff.
Exactly.
Saying stuff and laughing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then I said Gemini because wait, did you say that you could see that?
I could see a Gemini, yeah.
Yeah, I said Gemini because they're so like quick-witted and like they also kind of like can entertain themselves.
Totally, but I feel like they do it in a less playful way and more in an egoic way. If no one else laughs, they'll like find a way to make it like they'll wittily talk about how it's funny and then how everyone who didn't laugh is kind of unintelligent or not laughing.
Yeah, they're like slick.
They're slick and like undercutting a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more?
Yes. Most likely to make a new best friend out at the bar.
Got it.
I got it. 3, 2, 1.
Gemini.
Libra. I could see Gemini.
I would honestly, as soon as I said Gemini, I was like, I could also see a Sagittarius.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, all three.
All three. Yeah.
Do we want to get into why? Or
yeah, Libras are very charismatic.
Super social.
They're able to like kind of dominate a room. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves them.
They love going out, so they probably
love
be
going
at the
out.
bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Geminis too. Same
Geminis
thing.
too. Love to be at the bar and love to be like witty and like charismatic with everyone and like charm their way. Geminis are very charming in their wit.
100. Saggies don't like go out looking to go to a bar, but they might just end up there somehow. And if they do end up out like at a bar somehow, then they'll just like be like, "Oh, great! I have this But their version of a best friend would not take a 4-hour conversation because that's normal for them. It'd have to be like an 8-hour, like all.
Honestly, I would feel like it's the opposite. Like,
really?
For me, a Sagittarius, like, goes to a bar, meets someone, and they're wearing, like, a shirt of the band that they like, and they're like, boom, we're best friends.
No, really.
A Sag?
See,
yes.
I feel like because here's the thing, they can have 4-hour conversations. I know this is like not on the same topic. You just said they'd like talk in a second and hit it off. Yeah, they can hit it off with anyone. But they need to feel like they can have good conversation with you to want to call you a best friend. And because everyone else feels so understood and stimulated by a Sag, and that happens.
I don't think Sagittariuses use the term best friend, as, I think they use it very loosely.
That's why I'm saying. I'm taking it literally, like genuinely.
Oh, like a genuine best friend?
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
Oh, so
I was taking it
make
as
a
like,
new best friend.
Make
it new.
Yeah, to me that's like.
That's acquaintancy, what you're saying.
No, at a bar,
but it's not making friend.
Like, it's like you walk out of there and you're like, that's my best friend.
Oh no, that's
Even
a bullshit.
if you just
no, okay, I thought literally.
No.
Okay.
Are you making literal best friends?
I mean, you could. I don't know. There's been stories, and I feel like if anyone were to make a literal best friend at a bar, it would be a Sag. They'd be there for like 8 hours having fucking like conversation. That they walked in at 6 p.m. There's a band playing, and they leave at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I think Sag use the term like.
Okay, it's the way the question was worded.
Yeah.
All right, one more.
One more. Which sign is most likely to win the lottery? 3, 2, 1. Sagittarius.
I love it. We love Sag.
It's just true, honestly.
They're just lucky.
They're so lucky.
All right.
And that was our game.
Thank you.
Tune in next episode and let us know in the comments if you discovered something about yourself through this podcast, or if you went and if you're going to go and look at your chart after this, let us know what you discover.
The nodes, all the good stuff.
Chart ruler, anything. Right. Okay, till next time.
Bye.